Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Carrie and today I'm doing my December/Christmas book haul. So my mom basically refuses to buy me books for Christmas, but she did give me a gift card to Barnes & Noble. However, she did get me Strange History, Mysterious Artifacts, Macabre Legends, Boneheaded Blunders, and Mind-Blowing Facts. I don't know who it's by, but she did get me this because I enjoy strange historical things and she thought I would like it. So that is at least one book. And then my sister got me 1,200 Words You Should Know to Sound Smart by Robert W. Bly. I already know quite a few words in this book, which I'm rather proud of, but she also knows that I just enjoy words. Our father read the dictionary when he was a child. We're a strange family. That's all you need to know. So I'm also very excited to get into this one and learn some new words. With that, we'll get into the books that I have bought for myself over the course of December. So first of all, in the local library where my parents live, they have a little bookshop that people donate books to, and you can buy paperbacks for 50 cents, hardcovers for $1, etc., etc. Obviously, I had to go because when there's cheap books, I can't resist. The first one I got is To the Last Man by Jeff Shara. I read a Civil War book of his a couple months back and really enjoyed it. This one is World War I. Yeah, this one is World War I, and I'm really excited to get into it because he takes history and just makes it a little bit more personal so that it kind of barely scrapes into the historical fiction category. I also got the first 3 Clan of the Cave Bear by Jean Auel series, so Clan of the Cave Bear, Valley of the Horses, and the Mammoth Hunters. I've read Clan of the Cave Bear. I thought it was incredibly technical, but some of the descriptions were really good, and I'm beyond curious to know what happens to Ayla in the second book, hence the reason I got them for $1.50 total. Next to, I already have several by this author, and I just read The Covenant by him. Review going up soon, or already up by the time this video is up. And so I bought Alaska by James Michener and Hawaii by James Michener. If you'll recall, I said this library sells paperbacks for 50 cents and people donate them, hence the terribly disturbing half-ripped cover of Hawaii. But for 50 cents, if I don't like it, I can then get rid of it, and if I like it, I can get rid of it and buy a new one. It's a win-win. So obviously these are about their respective states through their history, which I'm excited about because there's a lot of history in these states. Next is a book by Isabel Allende called The City of the Beasts. I read Island Beneath the Sea by her, and I recently bought a book, something about winter, in the title by her. I do want to read more of her. I think her short stories are incredibly dark and not exactly my taste, but the book I read, Island Beneath the Sea, again, I didn't like the audiobook version of it, but I think if I read it in Spanish maybe would be really good. In English it might be okay. So I'm hoping that this one and the other book I bought by her will be much better. I also, now getting into the Barnes & Noble gift card part of this, I bought Queen of the Tierling by Erika Johansen. This one has gotten mixed reviews. I honestly have no idea what it's about beyond it's a fantasy or a sci-fi, but I've heard mixed reviews and it sounded really good, so I bought it. I also bought An Echo of Things to Come by James Islington. I really like the cover for this and it sounded really good. It's a fantasy book. Adult fantasy, I think, and quite thick. However, when I got it home, I realized that it is number 2 in the series. So, coming today, I have the first one, The Shadow of What Was Lost, because I did it again. I bought a second book in a series without realizing it was a series. I'm really good at that. Then I finished a series. I recently read Seraphina and the Black Cloak by Robert Beatty, and I actually really enjoyed that book. So I bought the rest of the series, which is Seraphina and the Twisted Staff, and a signed copy of Seraphina and the Splintered Heart. Follow a young girl, Seraphina. She's about 12 and she has a mystical power to change shapes. In the first one, she is at Biltmore Manor, built by the Vanderbilts in the early 1900s, and I really love the setting of Asheville, North Carolina, on this huge estate. It's a bit paranormal and dark, so it's probably a great fall read for those of you who are seasonal readers. It's also a middle grade series, so it's incredibly easy to read, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. The first one, anyway. I haven't read the second and third ones. Next, we have The Book of Phoenix by Nnedi Okorafor. I recently read one of her novellas, Binti, and loved it. It was so different from what I usually read. So when I saw this one for $8, I obviously had to get it. But I don't know what it's about. I also bought the Memoirs of Cleopatra by Margaret George. I have read Elizabeth I, Mary Queen of Scots, and Henry VIII by her, and loved them. They're historical fiction memoirs or autobiographies of different people in history. So those three, Cleopatra, Helen of Troy as well, and she's a great author. I don't know much about Cleopatra beyond the Caesar, Mark Antony, and marrying her brother bits, so I'm excited to see what this can teach me. I then bought The Diplomat's Daughter by Karen Tanabe. This one follows a Japanese girl during World War II, just after Pearl, and she is sent to a detention camp in Texas, and there are two love interests, both of who have various World War II related problems. One of them is Jewish, and the other one is in the US Army in the Pacific Front. So I'm quite excited to read this. It sounds fascinating as far as World War II goes, and just very different from what I usually read again. I also bought Uprooted by Naomi Novik. There's part of me that thinks I already have this, but then there's the rest of me that realizes I don't. I do now, but beforehand. I've read a lot of her other books. I have 3 more in her Temeraire series that I really, really want to finish. I don't know if I'm going to finish them before I go back to school, though. Anyway, this book sounds like a bit of a fairy tale retelling, and I'm quite excited about it. I also just love her writing. One is a bit of a strange one for me. I don't usually buy things like this, but it is The Complete Paintings of Van Gogh. I don't know who it's by, I think it's just a compilation, but it has every painting he's done and descriptions of them, which I just think is so cool, because realistically we only know Starry Night and maybe that sunflower painting that he did. And so I'm really excited to be able to see and read and learn about the rest of his paintings, because he's so well known. Then at a store called Mardel, which is usually just in the southwest of the States, I bought The Dragons of Turtledrill by Denise K. Paul. I have read her Dragonspell series, which I thoroughly enjoyed and highly recommend for maybe 10 to 14-year-olds, which is also a fantasy series, and this is a prequel to that, set in the same world, but on a different continent or a different region of the world. So I'm really excited to read this one, because I did love the last series. I also bought Egypt's Sister by Angela Hunt. This is a story about a Cleopatra. Not sure it's about the Cleopatra that we all know, but a Cleopatra anyway. So, I mean, how could I go wrong? I also bought Blood of Brothers, Life and War in Nicaragua by Stephen Kinzer. I've read this book last year before I went to Nicaragua, and I really enjoyed it. It was sort of homework from my friend who was in the Peace Corps down there, just to get a sense of the country. Like I said, a really good book. I lost my copy somewhere along the way, so I decided to buy another copy so that I have it. Then I got another book from the library shop, and that is The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. I've heard a couple of reviews about this, not a lot of them though. It sounds really good. It sounds dark. It sends this woman onto a quest about Vlad the Impaler, apparently. And to be honest, how could I say no to this? So I didn't. And the last one was given to me by an old school friend's mom who came to visit. She loves reading as much as I do. She used to be the school librarian, actually. So she only had 10 pages left and said she'd give me the book so that I can read it and see how it is. And that is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This follows a blind main character through World War II Paris. I'm just really excited to read this. It sounds really good. I keep seeing it everywhere, and I mean, I didn't have to pay for it, so again, how can I say no? I know that was a lot of books. Believe me, I know. But I hope you enjoyed this video of everything I bought or got in December. If you did, give it a big thumbs up down below. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button down below. If you've been with me a while, you know that I buy books like almost an addiction. But anyway, that's all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will leave my Goodreads link down below, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye.